Joining me today is Sherry Lee. She is the head of SAP.io New York. Sherry, it's wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Judy.
A pleasure. So now let's start off by talking about SAP.io. Tell me about it.
Sure. SAP.io is SAP's external startup accelerator where we source and pick startups that complements SAP products for our customers. As you know, SAP is world's largest enterprise software provider. So at SAP.io, everybody wins. SAP.io startups got access to SAP customers, and customers get to learn the latest, greatest innovative companies. So we were founded in 2017, and now we have a global presence with locations, with 11 foundries across North America, Latin America, EMEA, and APAC. We have over 250 startups in our portfolio, and that's ready to scale with SAP. And we have already initiated over 7,000 communications between SAP customers and startups.
So there are many other startup accelerators out there,
Yeah.
Sherry. Tell me, how are you different?
Thank you, Judy. So SAP.io is unique in several ways. First, we are non-dilutive. Startups do not need to give up their equity or pay any fees to join SAP.io program. Instead, we help startups do business development and establish their customer base and do a revenue share. In addition, SAP customers are actively involved in our program, selecting the startups, coaching the startups, and eventually adopting them. This makes sure that startups in our program are solving real customer problems. In addition, I'm really proud to say that SAP.io has a commitment to empower startups that are founded or led by underrepresented founders. For example, globally, over 44% of startups at SAP.io are led or founded by underrepresented founders. And in North America and Latin America, that percentage is 65%. We truly believe that diversity and inclusion can drive innovation.
All right, and what are some examples of solutions your startups have developed?
Yeah, so I would say that every single startup in our cohort are super interesting. I'll give you some example. For example, say you are a cell phone manufacturer and you are making cell phones in Asia and you need parts and screens, and you are reaching out to your tier one suppliers. However, your tier one suppliers also need to reach out to their suppliers for materials to make that parts or screen. So it creates a network of supplier at multiple levels. The problem is for a cell phone manufacturer, they lack the visibility through the entire supplier network. Risk, for example, extreme weathers or the possibilities of small factories shutting down or forced labor can cause the delay or suspension of the production. So the startup in our cohort right now called Versa.ai provide a dashboard and scorecard for companies to see where could be the potential supply chain disruption and plan ahead. Another example is, say, if you are a consumer goods company, you're a soda maker, you have multiple warehouses across the globe, and each warehouse has different activities that needs touch points or hands-off. And if a truck is supposed to deliver the inventory at 10 a.m. and got delayed because of traffic or weather, the whole schedule of staff at the warehouse got interrupted. So this tool in our cohort right now called autoscheduler.ai provides the capabilities for companies to reschedule or reallocate resources to help companies run operations at a warehouse level more efficiently.
Mm-hmm. And you're here today at the New York Stock Exchange. You've brought several of your startups with you. Tell me, what are you celebrating?
Yeah, so I have been working with these 10 amazing startups in our cohort, focusing on digital supply chain for the past 5 months. And they were selected from over 500 companies by SAP customers, investors, and SAP stakeholders. It's a really competitive process. So that's why we are here at our demo day. It's a graduation event where we are celebrating, showcasing their solutions, and also telling the world their partnership with SAP. We're kicking off the party here at New York Stock Exchange, and later on we'll go back to SAP office to celebrate with SAP executives, SAP customers, and investors.
Okay, and finally, Sherry, tell me, how can other startups get information or apply to the cohort?
Sure. So if you are building a if you are building an enterprise software company and are interested in working with SAP, please check out our website, sap.io, and subscribe to our newsletter and apply to the upcoming cohorts.
All right. Well, Sherry, wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on the floor today.
Thank you so much, Judy, for having me.